Hey guys, this is Abhishek from GadgetJuice.com, and today we are going to do a quick unboxing and full review of iOcean X7. Here we have the device with us, and so this edition of iOcean X7 is called the Youth Edition, and it will come at a price of 11,500 rupees, and then you have to pay an additional charge of 500 for the shipping. So in 12,000 you will get this device, and this device has some very good specifications. And there is one more device which we have reviewed earlier which looks similar to this one, that is called Vemi Passion Z. So let's start the unboxing. So the first thing, with the Youth Edition you get this kind of case with the package bundled, and let's unbox the device. So here the first thing which we have in the box is iOcean X7, as you can see. We will come on to the device later on, and we get a screen guard within the package. Here you have the user manual for iOcean X7. Again, this is a review unit imported from China, so everything is in Chinese, but the version which you will get over here will not be like this. You have the micro USB cable, USB to micro USB cable over here, and you get the universal USB wall charger. So as you can see, the output current is 1 ampere from this charger, and again it is a USB charger. And that's all you get in the package. You do not get headphones within the package. You will have to buy them separately. You will have to pay around 500 rupees for that, but you get this case bundled with the package, a silicone kind of a case which comes, so it will give you an extra protection for your device right out of the box, and you can easily fit in the device inside the case. It is a snap-on case, as you can see. Now here we have the iOcean X7, and as far as the design of the phone is concerned, I really like the design. It has got a matte finish rubberized back cover at the back, which will not attract the fingerprint very easily, and it is again will give you a kind of a very nice grip into your hand whenever you hold it. Again, the form factor of the device is also pretty good. You can easily hold the device in one of your hand. Now before I start the review, let me just give you a quick hardware overview of the device. At the bottom you have the micro USB port for data syncing and charging. Here you have the primary mic for voice calling. You have the loudspeaker port over here, and you have 8 megapixel camera at the back with dual LED flash, and you have the option of recording full high definition video from the back camera at 1080p. Here on the right, on the top, you have the power and sleep key, a chrome finish power and sleep key. Over here on the left you have the volume rocker. On the top you have 3.5mm audio jack. I do not find a secondary mic hole over here on the body of the phone for noise cancellation and video chat. And if we remove the back cover over here, so this is how the phone looks like from the back side, as you can see. And again, it has 2 SIM slots. You have a micro SD memory card slot over here with which you can expand the storage of the device, and it will support a micro SD memory card up to 32 GB maximum. You have the battery, which is 2000 mAh. Now taking a look over the phone from the front side, you have a 5-inch IPS LCD display, and the viewing angles for the display are pretty wide, as you can see. There is no problem as far as the viewing angles for the display is concerned, from whatever viewing angle you view it. Now this is how the lock screen look like. You have the time and date indicator on the lock screen, and as this device is running 4.2, so you can place the widgets directly on the lock screen. As you can see, you can easily access them by sliding over the lock screen like this. You can add more widgets. Also, you can access the camera UI directly from the lock screen. For example, if you want to launch the camera, you can drag it like this and it will launch the camera for you. Now this is how the home screen look like, and if we actually take a look over the resolution, so the resolution which we have on this device is a full high definition resolution, that is 1920 into 1080 pixels. And as far as the pixel density is concerned, we do not know the exact figure, but it is quite crisp and clear. As far as the display is concerned, I do not notice any pixelation even if I view the display from this close distance. As far as other specifications for this device is concerned, it runs on 1.2 GHz MediaTek 6589 quad-core processor, and you have PowerVR SGX 544MP as GPU. As far as the display is concerned, you have 5" of IPS LCD display. You have 1 GB of RAM and 4 GB of internal storage. If we take a look over the front display, you have the touch capacitive buttons there within the body, not within the display. Here you have the earpiece, and you also have proximity sensors over here. Now as far as home screens are concerned, it has 5 home screens which you cannot increase or decrease. As you can see, this device is running Android 4.2, and let's access the settings. Under settings, if we take a look over the about phone, the version of Android running on the device is 4.2.1. If we take a look over the storage over here, under storage option we find that 1.48 GB out of 4 GB is actually reserved by operating system for pre-installed applications and other data, whereas you have around 1.29 GB available, and out of which around 1.14 GB is available to the user. You also have the option of selecting the default write disk. You also have the option of selecting the preferred install location. So in case you use a micro SD memory card with this device, you can install apps on the SD card. Also you can move apps from the phone memory to the SD card. You can also use this phone for GPS navigation, but make sure you enable both of these options, and also you need to enable GPS satellite. And once you enable it, go under GPS satellite option and make sure you have enabled GPS EPO assistance and assisted GPS before you can use this device for navigation. Under display settings, you also have the option of automatic brightness. When it comes to wallpaper support, you have support for static wallpapers, live wallpapers onto this device, but video wallpapers are not supported. Under audio enhancement option, you have support for enhancing the sound through the headphones, so you can enhance the sound in case you are listening it from the headphones by checking this option over. You can also create a Wi-Fi hotspot by sharing the 3G internet onto this device. So create a Wi-Fi hotspot to share the 3G internet. You have support for USB tethering and Bluetooth tethering also onto this device. You have 1 GB of RAM onto this device, and out of 1 GB you have around 459 MB of RAM free. As you can see, you have the option of moving the app from the phone memory to the SD card. Now we are going to play Temple Run OZ on this device to show you the overall capability of the device in terms of the gaming, as well as in terms of the touchscreen response which you can get from this particular game whenever you play it. So the touchscreen is pretty responsive while playing this game. I do not notice any kind of problem till now. As far as graphics are concerned, they are pretty good, if not very smooth in terms of the overall movement. The draw distance for the game is also pretty good, and the touchscreen is as responsive as you see on any other high-end Android phone on this device as of now while playing this game. So let's test the gravity sensor on this device. As you can see, the gravity sensor is working pretty well on this device. Now this is how the phone dialer look like, and as you can see, you have the option of making a video call directly from the phone dialer, and the keys of the phone dialer are also pretty big. This is how the messaging application looks like, and again, as far as the look and feel, this is again stock Android messaging application, and the keyboard is also stock Android. You do not have the option of swipe to type or continuous input supported onto this keyboard, but the keyboard keys are pretty big and quite nicely spaced out from each other, so you will not face any problem as far as typing is concerned in the portrait mode or in the landscape mode. When it comes to the pre-installed application which you will get on this device, is you get a file manager pre-installed, you have FM radio pre-installed, you have all the regular applications like browser, Stroud browser which comes pre-installed. You have a movie studio application which will allow you to do some kind of video editing, again basic video editing with the video which you can record from this device. And you also get the super user app, that means the phones which will come here in India will come pre-loaded. And if we take a look over the other application, you also have a wireless input application which will allow you to connect a wireless Bluetooth keyboard with this device. So here we have the browser, which is again the stock Android browser. Only the home page of this browser is actually optimized, and it is looking like this with some thumbnails of the website. So the browser has loaded our website in the mobile phone format, and there is no problem with the kinetic scrolling. As you can see, it is pretty fast. As far as pinch to zoom is concerned, it is again pretty fluid. Double tap to zoom works pretty fine as well without any issues, and panning is also pretty okay. As far as the rendering of the text is concerned, the rendering of the text is quite precise, crisp and clear. You can also play YouTube videos which are embedded within the web page in this browser without opening the YouTube application. Now as you can see, the score which we have got on AnTuTu benchmark utility is 11669, which is kind of average score. Again, not very impressive, but this device can actually play almost all the graphic intensive game which you can think of, provided you store them on the memory SD card, because the device has a very limited storage of around 1.29 GB available to the user. And this is where the device ranks when it comes to comparing it with other devices. The Ninavax score for the device is 28.1 FPS, which is again not a very impressive score, but this device can actually play some graphic intensive games like Nova 3, Frontline Commando, Dead Trigger, Asphalt 7, Need for Speed, Most Wanted as well, and the casual games like Temple Run OZ, Subway Surfer also run fine on this device. If we take a look over the hardware information, we have the device model as iOcean X7, and you have ARM V7 processor on this device, and which is clocked at 1.2 GHz. It is a quad-core processor, as you can see. If we take a look over the effective resolution, the effective resolution is 1080 x 1920. You have PowerVR SGX 541MP as GPU. And if we take a look over the sensors, these are the sensors which are there on this device. You have magnetic field sensor, proximity, light, gyro, rotation vector, gravity, linear orientation, and a corrected gyroscope sensor. The scores which we have got for this device on the Quadrant Standard benchmark utility is 3792, as you can see, and this is how the device ranks when it comes to comparing it with other devices. These are the detailed scores for the CPU, memory, input, output. This is how the camera UI looks like, as you can see, and you also have the option of taking panorama shots. You can take multi-angle view shot as well from this device. When it comes to the video, you can start the video and you can pause it in between as well in case you are not finished, and then you can finalize it by tapping over here. So under the photo settings, you have the zero shutter delay, you have the face detection feature on, which you can enable. The continuous shots are supported, so you can take burst shots with 99 shots maximum. When it comes to the picture size, you have 12 megapixel at the maximum size which you can capture in terms of the size of the photos. If we take a look over the video settings over here, you have the option of recording high definition video at 1080p at fine quality, and at high it will record at 720p. Now if we take a look over the front camera is 2 megapixel, again a fixed focus camera, and this is how the quality will look like from the front camera whenever you do a video chat. Let me just toggle to the back camera again. So we have taken some photos with artificial light, without artificial light, and let me just show you those photos. So this is a photo which we have taken without light with flash, as you can see, and this is how the photo looks like. The photo is pretty good. In terms of the clarity of the object, it is also pretty good, but in terms of the overall colors, it is not that good. This photo we have taken with artificial light in an indoor room, and this photo comes out to be pretty good both in terms of the colors as well as in terms of the clarity of the object. And this is the photo which we have taken again from this device but without artificial light, and this is how the photo comes out to be when it comes to normal light which you have. So again, the camera has performed pretty well in indoor light, as you can see. Now we are trying to play a high definition video on this device from YouTube, and as far as the quality, the resolution at which the video is playing, it is playing in the high definition format, as you can see, because of the high definition resolution on this device. As far as the viewing angles are concerned, the viewing angles are quite wide, and there is no issue as far as viewing angles are concerned whenever we play a YouTube video. And let me just turn on the volume.
As in this case, all the time I get to see this Apple logo which is shown over here. So whenever
So the loudspeaker is also pretty loud, but again it is not the loudest which we have heard. As far as high definition video playback is concerned, this device can play high definition videos at 1080p as also at 720p, so there is no issue with the playback. And let me just play a 1080p video over here onto this device, and the videos get played in full screen. I do not see black bars on the left or the right or on the top and bottom, as you can see. And if we forward the video there is no problem as far as the audio and video is concerned. There is no issue or no lag in the video while playing it. Even now, as far as the call quality is concerned, the earpiece which is over here gives you nice quality of sound whenever you use it, and the quality of sound which comes out from the earphone, which you can buy additionally, and you will be able to buy additionally in-ear headphones with this particular phone in case you want to spend 500 rupees extra. The quality of sound is also pretty good from them. Now, as far as OTG is concerned, the device does not support on-the-go USB feature, because when we try connecting this flash drive with the device using the OTG cable over here, as you can see, the flash drive doesn't show up here in the file explorer. That's all from us as far as the quick hands-on review of the iOcean X7 is concerned. The overall battery backup from this device is around 1 day with moderate usage. If you are a heavy user, it will last for you for little less than 1 day, but again it will last for till evening if you start using it from the morning time. So that's all from us. Do let us know if you have any specific question for this device. We would love to help you. You can like this video if this video helped you by clicking the like button below. You can subscribe to our YouTube video channel for more videos like this by clicking the subscribe button below. Thanks for watching this video. This is Abhishek signing off. Thank you.